Good morning, good morning, good morning, or maybe afternoon, evening, night, wherever you are in the world. It is amazing to have you back for another round of X Spaces or X Talks, depending on how you want to word it. Let's just do a sound check. Can everybody hear me, or is this intro being for nothing?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can, sir. That is fantastic news so far already, absolutely nailing it. Yeah, so once again, back for another amazing X Talks. We're just getting everybody on stage. Just give us a moment while we get it all together. I think we've got Hot Knife Studios here, Cyber Elite, Pixie Realm. Can I just get a sound check from all of you?
Hello, good morning, everyone. Sam
Fantastic.
here.
Loud and clear.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Can hear you guys loud and clear.
Outstanding. Can hear you as well.
Hello, everybody. Do you hear me well and clear?
Yes, sir. I've got you as well. This is going amazingly. This is unreal. I love it when tech works and people are all here when they're meant to be here. It's just the best. It's the absolute best.
I do have to say this is my 7th AMA, and I'd probably say out of all 7 of them today, I would say 4 of them, Twitter Spaces was just being brutal, rugging. So hopefully this works. Cross your fingers.
No, we've got it nailed. The dream team's here. How could it possibly go wrong?
Exactly. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, I'll just wait for anybody else to jump on up. But Crypto Nord, if you want to lead away.
Sure. Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming. I think we are, what episode is this? Number 35, I believe? 36, some, I don't know. I lost count. Anyways, thanks everybody for coming. It's going to be a good one. We've got a good lineup for you and a pretty good topic, I would have to say. So, for those that don't know me, my name is Cody. I'm the Chief Experience Officer here at Layer 1X. And I'm joined by 2 of my favorite people. I'd have to say Inna, our resident badass, who is in charge of these amazing XTalk episodes, as well as my friend Joe with the badass beard person. I don't know. What did we talk about last time with your beard? It has some magical runes lost somewhere in there.
Rune beard. I don't know. We went on a journey after that. I think there's going to be a meme token associated with that. First multi-chain meme coin has to be $ beard. I think we're on here for sure.
No, I definitely love it. Definitely love it. So, yeah, just before we jump in and get going with this, if you wouldn't mind, please be sure to share the link to this space so that we can get it out to everybody. We also do appreciate our panelists who are joining us today and taking the time out of their busy schedule to come in and throw in their knowledge and expertise and some opinions about our topic, as well as don't worry, we'll give you a few minutes to kind of shill your own product and project. And we want to hear all about what you guys are doing in the Web3 space as well. So again, with that, I say we just kind of open it up for intros. We'll start with the Hot Knife. Let's go with you first.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope you're having a pretty good day. My name is Tiwa. I'm co-founder and CMO at Hot Knife Studios. What we're doing, innovative game studios. All of us are gamers, from Magic the Gathering to RuneScape, MapleStory, World of Warcraft, Halo, COD, you name it. And the games that have been pitched as crypto games just haven't met the mark. So just developing medieval action games to get people excited, immersed in this world, and get people actually having fun in the game. And then the blockchain tech is at the underneath. So really excited to be on the stage today. Really excited to get into topics, and we'll learn more about what we're building and how we can merge Web2 and Web3 and get them onboarded and get them actually not afraid of the crypto side. But good to be on here, guys. Really excited to get into the meat.
Yeah, thank you definitely for coming. I feel you're going to definitely have some good insights. So moving along, let's go over to, let's see, Pixel Real.
Yes, that's going to be me. Hey, everyone, I'm Sam, and I currently moved to this position of CMO within Pixel Realm. Thank you very much for the invite. I have been working with Layer 1X on a different capacity like past 6 months, and it's great to reconnect from my new role. What we are a launchpad. Currently, we integrated with Base, with Clayton, with Say, and who else is out there? Scale, and some others. Oasis Protocol currently. We funded over 100 projects within our launchpad, and we are also incubating games and studios. First 2 games coming out this year. And also in the audience, you can see like a little green Yoda. That's Yoda Labs, our first incubated company, which is basically which has ambition to become like IGN of Web3 gaming, basically doing research, reviews, exclusive previews on all things Web3 gaming. And yeah, from my side, since I got my first computer and my hands on the first games, that was the end of my school. That's where my education ended. So yeah, it was. I was very passionate gamer. Now I mostly read about games. I don't have so much time to play them. So I'm like more on the research and playing side, but still, it's like like combination overlap of like Web3 and crypto. I would say that's my niche. That's like what's closest to my heart. So love being on this space. Thank you everybody for the invite, and looking forward to talking with you, everyone.
No, I love it. I love it. Yeah, thanks for being here. Salsa Valley. I think I've seen you a couple of times on some AMAs I was on with you today. So why don't you take it away next?
Yeah, hi. I saw you also. Nice to meet you here again, and thank you for having me today. So I'm Yulia. I'm the co-founder of Salsa Valley, and we definitely align with today's topic. So our positioning is that we merge the Web2 and Web3 in our immersive GameFi and entertainment ecosystem. And we create the unique crypto world, which is based on the Salsa Valley stories. This is the cartoon series about crypto, with the trolling of the crypto market, and where everyone can create their own crypto history in our cartoon series, crypto board game, Cookturn and Chiltron casual mobile games with the Playtron mechanics, and their Mooniverse. And why the Mooniverse? Because every project wants to the moon, I guess you know, guys. And what we are solving that engaging and keeping the real active users is costly. It's hindered by airdrop focus and multi-hacking users. And Web2 audience, for example, which we will talk about today, they have the stereotype that about the crypto complexity and inefficiency with the grind-intensive products which we saw the previous period. And the Salsa Valley offers the brand new marketing solutions to attract user costs effectively, providing them easygoing entrance points into Web3 and multiply their entertainment through the diverse ecosystem, crypto brands integration, and make them their brand lovers. And in our vision is to collaborate and creating the network effect together by engaging this audience. Thank you, and let's discuss today so hot topic.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, thanks for being here. Let's go on to, sorry, it's cutting it off. Cyber Latte? I don't. Sorry if I'm slandering that. I should click on it and see.
It's okay. Okay, it's Cyberlet.
Cyberlet.
These
All right.
are long-term friends now, and I'm really, really excited to have them on board again. So, we also have another guy from Cyberlet in the audience. If you want to speak, just request to speak. Okay, we will pull you on stage as well. Let's go, guys. Welcome.
Hey, everybody. Thanks again for having us. Hi, it's a pleasure. Thank you for inviting us. Hi, everybody. I'm Jeffrey Monis. I'm one of the co-founders of CyberLead. A little bit about us. We're a massive social application with competitive features for gamers, embedded with AI, anti-cheat technology, and player biometric verification. We started this journey to stop the plague of cheating in online games to create a level playing field for all. We have about 2 decades of esports and competitive experience just in the founder team alone. And we just want to kind of make the scene and better than what it is as current.
No, I love it. Anybody that can stop cheaters in my book is a good person. So welcome. Definitely there. So let's move on to, let's see, Mascot. I think you're our last one.
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go for it, my friend.
Fantastic. I swear I have the most unlucky time. Every Twitter AMA I've ever been on has been while I'm eating and or cooking dinner. It's crazy. And this is still falling in that mark. Thank you guys for letting me pop in. I don't think I was on the original list. And Ina so graciously invited me last minute because we got talking and I was excited to put a bug in everyone's ear and get talking a little bit about all these different conversations that are on the list for today. So let me introduce myself. My name is, I go by Mascot at the various teams that I work at. I majority represent today Spirit Swap on Phantom. Hopefully everybody's familiar with Phantom and all the news that's been going on with them lately and the Sonic upgrade. Spirit Swap is an exchange that's been on Phantom since 2021 and through the bull run all through there. And we just recently inherited it in about September, August of last year when the multi-chain hack happened for the Phantom ecosystem. The power team, for who I am also employed by, kind of put up some cash and we were able to take in and swoop in and take over Spirit Swap. And we're building it to be what will be, because we believe in the things that we make. Once again, the best exchange on the network. And that being said, it might be kind of confusing that we're a little bit of an odd man out here on today's topic of gaming and stuff. But all of our team members have had vested interests in DeFi gaming. We all participated as investors and just casual crypto degens in DeFi gaming. As well as before taking over Spirit Swap, we were even designing and wanting to build our own, and we had laid the groundwork. We had a whole Git book written up, and we have sort of cold storage that for now as we're putting our focus into Spirit Swap. But we're very, very excited as in just sitting here and hearing everyone introduce themselves and the projects that they're working on and the companies that they work for. Very excited to support all of these different games in different parts of crypto gaming space because we're going multi-chain here in Q2. And we're excited to offer, unparalleled support as far as on the exchange side to everyone's gaming needs. I'm really excited to kind of get into some of the topics and see where we can, kind of push ourselves into the rest of 2024 to offer support to this sector of the crypto space that we all love so much.
Well, perfect. Welcome. I guess the first question I have for you is, what's for dinner?
Oh man, I got some tortellinis. I'm excited. I haven't eaten all day. My family's coming into town for my dad's birthday, and it's the first meal I've eaten today.
Oh man!
And so I am ready.
Now you're making me hungry. You're making me hungry. But yeah, thanks for coming. And to be honest, with you guys being an exchange, you're definitely in the right wheelhouse, in my opinion, because anybody that has ever bought a meme coin or anything like that has definitely played some sort of degen game when it comes to it, right? So there's always game tokenomics behind it. So everybody plays the game. So welcome everybody. For those that are just tuning in, my name is Cody. I'm the Chief Experience Officer at Layer 1X, and we appreciate you being here. For those that are new to the space, XTalks is a platform that we've developed that is powered by Layer 1X to not only help promote, but also unite different projects across the various chains that are out there. Our ethos as an L1X blockchain, as L1X, our ethos is that we want to unite not only chains, but also projects and users as well. So thank you for our panelists for joining us today. I feel like we've got some good ones that are going to be able to contribute to some deep rabbit hole discussions. Anybody that knows that has listened to our AMAs, we definitely do like to go down those rabbit holes. So get ready. We're about ready to go down one. So for those that are just joining us again, please be sure to reshare the link to this AMA space so that we can get it out to the masses and reward those panelists that have taken the time to join us and to provide us with their expertise and knowledge on this subject. So again, give them a follow. They definitely deserve it. So with that, who's ready to jump in? Ina, did you want to say anything? I don't think we gave you an opportunity to introduce yourself. I think it would be nice for people to know who's behind the XTalk account.
Yeah, I'm not going to take much time because time is valuable, and we have a lot of questions on the list to discuss. But I just want to state that I appreciate all the speakers and all the participants in all the AMAs that we run. I'm so grateful for your insights, for your opinions, and for your time as well. So thank you so much. We are actually educating community. We are actually building something valuable within these spaces. So thank you. And yeah, let's go.
Fantastic.
Sorry.
Let's
couldn't find the button.
Classic mute. That's it. This is why we can't have nice things, crypto. This is why.
I know. So
you can't even say you were cooking dinner at least.
No, I couldn't. I was yeah, never mind.
Let's roll off. Kickoff question. How about we start there? It's probably the best place to start with the kickoff question.
Yeah.
So we've got obviously a lot of stuff that's I suppose revolutionary tech for Web3 gaming. So let's start there. How will XTalk specifically fundamentally change the way players interact with games, not only on your platform, but within wider Web3 gaming ecosystems?
So for XTalk, it's interoperability. How will interoperability help transform the Web3 gaming space in the future? Oh, feel free to jump in whenever. We don't have a raise your hand type of thing here, so feel free to jump in.
Yeah, I'll hop in. So the good thing about crypto and about the, I don't want to call it the degen space, but really that community of just trading and getting into gaming, is that people get a taste of that community aspect. I mean, if you're gaming, if you're a gamer, you already get some of that. If you're streaming and if you're playing games on lobbies and playing games with 5 different people and talking on comms like that. But it's a different flavor when you're building different things with people. You're able to earn and trade and build community from that as well. So the fact you're able to have these spaces and that they're not just one-offs, but they're consistent, it gives people something to come up and something to a way to collab whenever they're playing the games, and they're also going to these spaces. It puts a voice behind a player, maybe a player that did something that you want something together, an item, an NFT. So it's nice having somebody along this journey that you go on whenever you're in DeFi, and the spaces brings that out.
Perfect. Anybody else want to have any thoughts on that? How will interoperability change the future of Web3 gaming?
I think with coming from the exchange side, we saw a lot of. At the time, I was running an AMA on Discord, and someone had asked me to explain. We were talking about different networks and why we were based on Phantom, and someone had asked the question, trying to understand. I think it was Avalanche that we were talking about at the time, and they didn't understand that gas tokens are different, and the network goals and orientations are different. And I kind of broke it down as each network is like its own little country with its own currency, right? The Australian dollar, or the Aussie, or what is it? The New Zealand Kiwi and the Canadian dollar and the US dollar are all different, right? And they have their different use cases in their different countries, so to speak. And bridging, last bull run was a little bit more of an obscure kind of thought that came later on at the tail end. Not a lot of people were as familiar with it. You had your people on BSC and on things that you could get off of centralized exchanges. So I think going into this bull run, what I'm really seeing, into the next big market moves is, using the buzzword that is interoperability, right? Is you're really starting to see a lot of handshaking between networks and really culminating into this ideology of, right, there's strength in numbers, that not just because we're a different network, right? Maybe we're Phantom, maybe we're Avalanche, maybe we're ETH, but if we work together, we can make legitimate the space as a whole for everyone. And so I think in the DeFi gaming space, especially, right, people come under the idea of that community and the game that they're a part of. And that's going to really be a huge component in not just building up the game experience, but it's going to really bridge the gap of networks, because the network won't matter, right? It's what community are you a part of? Or are you in this gaming space? You're part of this project? That's great. And spanning a bunch of networks will be really very seamless because of the interoperability being such a focus as we get into 2024, 2025, and really sort of bridging the gaps of those networks. I'm very excited for that. And so that it allows for, right, that handshake of networks, of projects to work with one another to really sort of expand what gaming looks like. Because I remember in 2022, right, the cream of the crop was like Cribata and how that looked. And that was still mostly just like a 2D, sort of experience. And the stuff that's popping up now in the last year and a half has been insane. So seeing other teams come together because networks are so much more comfortable working together, I'm really excited for the space and what that's going to look like in the next 6 months.
And I agree with you. The space has been evolving rapidly over the last year or two. And we used to, over at CyberLead, we talk about like the interoperability of gaming, like being like Steam, for instance. Like Steam is like a closed, centralized version of what a Web3 app could be. They have skins, they have sales, they have all this stuff that's owned by the user. But imagine if it was decentralized and for everybody. I think owning and being a part of that open network and building a community in a different manner allows you to invest in these games and then trade up to another game. As of now, if I've spent $1,000 in Fortnite, I can't trade or use that $1,000 for anything else. So it becomes like a mute point that I could maybe make 50% of that $1,000 back, so I have 500. The point is it's not about the money. It's about being able to flow with the asset that you have, and that's kind of the reality is owning some ownership to be able to trade to the next thing. And sure, if you have very important skins or very rare things, they're going to be more valuable, just like in everything. It's all changing slow at a slow pace, but a lot of tech needs to be built underneath. So all the good things take some time, and that's kind of where we're at right now, is kind of waiting for the technology to kind of meet our ideas. And there's a lot of devs that are building really crazy, ingenious things. We just got to give them time to finish up so we can plug it in, and it's happening as we talk.
So, Cyber, if you wouldn't mind, just for the listeners that are listening, what are those technologies that you're referencing? Like, what kind of things do you feel are needed to be built in order to kind of gain that interoperability thing?
Okay. So as of right now, there needs to be back-end work, not necessarily front-end work, that will allow these things to happen smoothly underneath the hood. And then on the front end, the user experience side, the UX, it needs to be displayed in what is going on and demonstrating it in a way that makes sense. So as the blockchain tech is working and doing its thing, there is a delay. Most users are not used to a delay. They're used to instant gratification. So there needs to be some education, but understanding that there's going to take some time when you're dealing with assets that you own. And that takes a responsibility, and then it takes some clear understanding of how to transfer this. So I think that there needs to be education things, And then I also think, depending on your dev team for your company, there needs to be a lot of thought about how you're interoperable. For Cyberly, we use a thing called Constellation Network, and we have a layer 0 and a layer 1 blockchain that interoperate, and we can plug in any EVM, anything into this and operate with that coherently. So essentially, we're able to do whatever we want to do, and then we own the layers, and then we can talk to the DAG main hypergraph, which is really cool. So like we've done it a little differently, and that allows us to plug and play with many different chains and experiences in the future.
No, thanks for providing that. Yeah. Anybody else? I apologize. I'm on desktop, so I can't see anybody raise their hands. So just jump in.
Yeah, I would just like to add, like, looking at how the DeFi, like, or like the whole Web3 world is like shaping, like in recent years, we started to kind of move into like, oh, I'm, like I'm Solana person, I'm ETH person, I'm Say person. And I'm not sure if that's really like working in our favor. And I think like this is what interoperability would bring, like joining sort of like these camps, because also like in gaming we have to realize like who are we up against. Like we're up against like Activision and Blizzard and all of these people who spend like 6 years, and it's something that could be like Web3 gaming's main leverage, like how we can compete with all of these, like having a very strong community and like bridging these differences, like, oh, I only play on this chain or I only play on this chain. I think that's like a crucial aspect to join the community. So we have like Web3 gaming, and I don't want to say like we're against them, but this was definitely give something, like, oh, we're building the games together. I think we Web3 gaming can still get like the sort of like Minecraft kind of approach. Like we're building something and we're building it together with the community, and we need as much of that community as possible to be able to basically be noticed by Web2 gamers. And yeah, I think that's my take on it.
No, that's definitely great insight. From our point of view as well, is that it is about creating that seamless user experience. And that kind of leads me into the next question that we want to ask, which is, if we look at the pure, I guess you can call it utopia vision of what Web3 is and the countless connected experiences that it can provide, how will gaming lead the way? Does it mean that every game becomes its own tiny little self-governed world, or how do we keep things from becoming fragmented as we move towards this united utopia vision?
I think it goes back to what we talked about in terms of interoperability. The people building with that in mind are those that are going to win long term. Having all these different pockets of blockchains is fun for now, but that isn't adoption, because it's not efficient. Having this coin, that coin, and the other, that ends up being just dust in a wallet. But having a way that these different blockchains can talk to each other. And if you look at gaming, I mean, the biggest issue for MMOs or any type of game with a community is it dying off after the first couple months. It might be hot with marketing at the beginning, but it's hard to have users continuously play your game. But when you're having interoperability and having these blockchains being able to talk, and you have these communities linked, and you have assets that you can use in other places, it increases the worth and it lets people to continue to play. And if you look at blockchain, sometimes it gets a bad rep for being kind of cultish, but that can play in your favor when you're trying to have people play your game for a long period of time. So lots to do there, lots you have to think about, but you have to talk. You have to tap into linking and not trying to look at it a competition, because there's a lot to, I guess, acquire in terms of blockchain. Right now, it's really a bubble. A lot of people who don't know about it, a lot of people who haven't been onboarded. So rather than trying to protect and trying to do things and not link hands and not cooperate, it's best to do the opposite, to see how and where you can cooperate, how you can collaborate, how you can partner and do things together and build the blockchain together, build onboarding together, and find a way that maybe you have something that you're not doing as well. Somebody else, some other project is doing it better. You can collaborate and do things better in 2 times and get more people, get more eyes. There's just a lot of more ways to do things when you look about how you could do it together with these other projects, like some of the ones that are on this platform, some of the ones that are grinding daily on these spaces, looking for the same thing that you are looking for as well. So just open your eyes, look for ways to synergize and do so, and it's going to lead to a lot of profit.
Man, I think that was a good question, right? How is it going to lead to the utopia that all of us want Web3 to be? I think gaming is actually the perfect door for that, because as a gamer myself, a little background, I played World of Warcraft for 10 plus years. I play more Warzone than my wife would probably approve of during the workday, with some of the other members of our team. And I played, like I said, I played Crabata too back when that was a thing, as well as some of our team members. And if there's one underpinning issue, right, it's that there's scamming and illegitimacy and people taking advantage of all of those games, be them small DeFi games like Crabata or billion-dollar businesses like Activision. And DeFi really allows everything being backed by the blockchain and an immutable ledger and this immutable ideology and technology that drives our entire narrative that we all believe in. I think that you'll see a real disruption into the cheating and taking advantage sort of mindset that people have with modern gaming. Because unlike all of the other spaces of DeFi gaming specifically is probably the least focused on the dollar amount. Obviously, we're all here because we love intermingling the things that we already love with the decentralized nature of the inherent financial aspect of crypto. But gaming sort of takes that edge off. And I think if we can really, really do it, correctly, as well as with all the interoperability of networks and the working together of teams, I think that there will be a express change in people's mindset of, wow, if we create games and products and environments that aren't rife with, really taking advantage of your customer kind of tactics and allowing the cracks to form because of things that aren't, on immutable blockchain ledgers. I think what you'll start to see is that people will again realize that in this emerging economy that is crypto over the last 10 years, that there's more bang for your buck for building products and building real quality content versus coming from the exchange side. We love whitelisting tokens. We do it all the time. I cringe every time I'll whitelist something and then 2 days later they rug. And so creating a space where, oh wow, if we build a product that's legitimate, we actually make more money. That's the Web3 that I want to see. And because gaming is less focused directly on the dollar value, right? It's not APRs and fees, and it's creating a perfect gaming experience that people want to play that just happens to be Web3 and is decentralized. And the benefits that offer will start to show that true legitimate business shines out the clearer for the entire industry. And that'll bleed into the other parts like my sector in the exchange atmosphere, in the exchange part of DeFi. And so I'm very personally excited for that, because as someone who started out in this space years ago as just an investor, the legitimacy is ruined every time by all these terrible scams. And I think that the sort of upheaval of that mindset will first come through the gaming space, because it's not focused on just the dollar amount, but by creating real quality content. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Can I speak? Yeah. Do you hear me, guys?
Yep, go for it.
Yeah. So I would like to definitely agree with the mascot. Yeah, we need to remember that first of all, when we are talking about the Web3 audience, they of course already know that in the games we can make money, and these are the people who will be the example for the newbies, what we can do in the games, that we can not just only play, but we can also make some activities for and play to earn. And these are the people who firstly, like initially make the market. But when we are talking about the engaging the Web2 audience, which is much more wider for now, which is web than the Web3, as for us and what we are doing also, we are focused on creating the things and the games people used to play, and people used to play for fun. And we need to remember about that. That we need to provide the product which people will play for fun, and then to provide them easy entry points, how to interact with blockchain, how to interact with assets, and they will say, "Oh, I see the market exists, and somebody doing some things on the blockchain, or how can I do that, and so on." So we need to like push their interest to get into our world, and but we need to engage them to the things they used to the real interesting games, not the grind, to give them this opportunity, and then very like lightly to provide them some blockchain technologies and to transfer them into our world. And also, for example, we are, that is what we are doing. We are focused on the casual mobile games, to the North America, Latin America audience, for the women who are really play the games, who are really participate, and by providing at the end of different steps, we provide different mechanics how they will be able to get into the crypto world after the use casual mobile game mechanics. So this is our point, that we need we don't need just to think about the AAA games, for example, and how to engage the Web2 audience who play just the AAA games. We need to think about the huge gaming mobile game audience, and to engage them also by providing them like common things to them, but in the new interpretation.
No, that was some great insight. Thanks for sharing. So I'm going to ask a very uncomfortable question. I'm just kidding. It might not be an uncomfortable question, but out of the projects that we have that are games here, we've been talking about, collaboration has kind of come up with a similar word with interoperability in your guys' responses. So going down kind of that rabbit hole of collaboration, have you guys currently, with your current projects, collaborated with other games to create this interoperability kind of play? For an example, maybe create standardized kind of NFTs for skins or for weapons or whatever it might be that they can use cross games. Any examples that you guys have done?
I can
Yeah.
say. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Bastian, you're first.
No, after you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, according to us, for example, we did several NFT sales with our partners already. They're common, like NFTs together, and for now we are definitely have some offers for projects to engage them, to create the special like mechanics in the game with their common skins, with their common assets, and to make the special like maps for that, to special territories. And of course this is the very huge I guess this is the very huge step in their uh, user engagement, and in their in our and these projects awareness, because of the network effect and growing together.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Looks
Yeah,
like we have somebody new to the panel. Bastian, do you want to just take 30 seconds and introduce yourself? And then I believe you were trying to say something as well.
Yes. It's a bit awkward. This is Hot Knife, but I just switched accounts because Bastion is our first game.
That's awesome.
I told
That's
Eno
a
I was going
tactical
to.
shield. That is a tactical shield. That well done, sir.
Oh, classic. Keeping us on our toes.
Absolutely, absolutely. But I mean, just going into what we're talking about, like I said, our game's released. Our the demo of our game, Vertical Slice, is released next month. We've been working hard on it. Developer has 10 years of experience, super talented guy, yada yada. But going on if we're connected with other games, yes. If you go to huntKnife.io/about us and look at some of our advisors, we had the privilege of connecting with someone named Peter and another guy named Nick and someone else named Andy. But Peter, he has a game he's building called Xfinitum. But he's a very interesting guy, has 30 years of experience. Um, and if you've watched the movie Dune, the second part, he actually has connections to Frank Herbert, the guy who wrote the book series Dune. I love Dune. It's my favorite book, sci-fi, amazing. Some people call it the godfather of all sci-fi books. But anyways, he's building a card game if you like puzzles, if you like finding out cool stuff and NFTs. Um, that's what he's developing, and we're partnering with him so that our NFTs will be utilized in his game and our game and multiple other games. Hinting on that interoperability, because why just have one NFT that you can use in one game when you can use for several, when you can have several pieces of worth and several pieces of things that make sense and allow you to earn in other games, as long as they're all fun, what's holding it back. So check it out, check other games out, and hopefully we can partner with more games like that.
That's awesome. Pixel Real, go for it.
Yeah, one aspect like what we are looking into is actually, and I'm also like leveraging my own past like experience. I'm looking like, hey, do if I get a special weapon in Halo, do I want it to bring it to Kratos in like God of War? Like I'm not sure, like I like the realms to stay within the realms. I wouldn't want to break sort of like the realm. But what really spoke to me, it was like 2007, 2008 when Microsoft actually came out with achievements for gaming. And that was for me like, and for a lot of gamers, such a huge deal. I remember buying a game actually just because it was so easy to get like 1,000 in every game. Like it was Xbox 360, and every game you could get like 1,000 points. And one game I literally just played because it was like really easy. Within like 2 hours, you could get all the achievements there, and it stayed in your gamer profile, in your Xbox gamer profile. And now, 17 years later, I think all the platforms already have the achievements. I think there's achievements in Steam, there's achievements in PlayStation, and I'm not familiar with Nintendo. But there are now coming out like gamer IDs, like we're just talking to Polygon, for example, for implementing theirs, where we have opportunity for those like gaming achievements to be sort of like outside of the game as well. So it's like whatever I achieve within the game can be visible, and we sort of want to show it off. Like I'm not sure if anyone can relate, but in Call of Duty, you basically in multiplayer you have to spend like 50 hours like leveling up from level 1 to level 50, and after you achieve it, you get like a little badge next to your name. That means that you went already from level 1 to level 50, and you start over at level 1. And it's like, like probably like 40 hours of gameplay, and everybody's just like, oh, I want that badge, let me just do it again, and I want a better badge. So we can like these achievements, if we can transfer them outside of the games, that would be amazing. And what we're actually looking at is also this can tell us who's a quality gamer, who's a quality user. So it wouldn't just end with the social proof, like, oh, I achieved this within the game, even though that's already like quite enough for me as a gamer, just like being like, oh, I just, had like 20 kills in a row without getting killed. I want everybody to know that's already quite enough. But also like, how about giving them like some other features? Like, oh, this is like a quality gamer, so let's give this guy like alpha version or beta version access. So we can start using this basically across the ecosystem. So it's not only like carrying items or skins from game to game, but recognizing like who plays, how plays, and every player gets like recognized for their achievements. Plus the game developers are going to recognize, well, this person just played like 30 hours of this game and my game is kind of similar. So he's the one I want to give free mint to. to be one of the first ones to be testing out Mind Game. And yeah, that's definitely the path that we would love to be like taking, like connecting these games and achievements from these games, and then basically giving them special features based on how they play, what they enjoy.
No, that's really good feedback. Cyber, did you want to add something to that?
Yeah, yes, I do. So we do things differently with NFTs. So like for us, our NFTs are non-fungible trophies, and they're tied into like players or teams winning these at tournaments or league things. So the trophies are essentially a part of the achievement that can be displayed on a player or team's profile. So and these will be never deleted because we're making essentially what we've done is we're creating an immutable history of all these actions for tournaments and events to actually create history for statisticians and other people that are interested in esports and competitive gaming from the bottom up, from the community up, because we understand that history is being deleted. There was talk about Xbox and PlayStation and all that stuff. They're deleting their old history. So all that gaming data is going away. We want to save that history so that players like myself, who've been in the gaming industry for 2 decades, same with my other founder, Stolte, he's been in for 2 decades. Our history just gets deleted all the time. And we were like, we were a part of the founding leagues back in the day. Stolte traveled around and competed, and so did I. And the thing is like, you wouldn't be able to find that history, and we need a spot that does that and doesn't delete it. That's just for the competitive side of things. And then for the casual side of things, it would be awesome to never have your stuff deleted or your videos deleted or things that are just deleted, like just gone all of a sudden, because your casual experience is an experience that you're going to rejoice when you're older. And it's awesome if you could give that experience or your history or show your kids or show somebody else, blah, blah, about this stuff, because it's awesome to me. And I think that as we approach this a little differently, we want to build it, and we want to build something for the gamers that's called a home at this point. There is nothing that's available for them. We're all over the place around the internet, and we kind of need a place. It's about time.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Being able to save your data, be able to look back on that. I loved playing Halo back in the day, and we're talking like when there was LAN parties with the Xbox, and the things that I wish I could go back and share with my older kids now. They don't believe that dear old dad used to be able to do headshots long before they were, and having that it still runs through my head of Halo, that double kill, triple kill, quadruple kill, kind of thing. And those are the things that you're just talking about, that nostalgia type of thing. And so, that's one thing that we're definitely working on at Layer 1X, is the ability to save that data, give the data back to the user, so that they can use it any which way that they want. They can monetize it. They can bring it into other games, like first-person shooter games, that will accelerate the onboard experience, and that kind of thing, and among some other cool features. But for the interest of time, we won't do that. But just giving a quick call out to the community, if you're listening and if you guys have questions for our panelists, please throw them in the comment threads. Joe will basically be grabbing that. I'm going to ask one last question, and then we'll turn it over to a few community questions. But when it comes to Web2 games, a lot of the players' data usually is exploited for profit. We all know this, right? And it's not just in the gaming industry; it's across the social media. It's everywhere, right? So in Web3, do you feel like Web3 will fix the imbalance, especially around when user-generated content becomes a new form of gameplay? Do you think it'll be a new form of uncompensated labor hidden behind the promises of ownership? Or do you think that it will kind of set a new precedence?
So I can jump in here. I think that datapreneurs is the new wave. I think data is essentially the new oil. And we over at CyberLead, we want to reward people for their data and their contributions to our platform. And we want to call those people gamerpreneurs, because people are, and their data is very valuable, and the things that they're doing do contribute to the systems. And if you are, making money off of user data or anything, it should be contributed back to them. And that's kind of where the economic things come into play. And there's a lot that we can do to bring these economic values to our businesses with our business logic based on how we're setting up our business and programming language, how the smart contracts or whatever your business logic is going to be online, the immutability of it. And we can start building these economies that benefit each other and work together. It's the issue is the scene is kind of immature, and there's a lot more scamming and cheating and hacking and all this other stuff that's going on. And once the scene matures a little bit and more players come in that will protect the scene, kind of like HTTP, Hypergraph Transfer Protocol, that will replace HTTPS in the future for blockchain layer things, which is a new innovation. If you want to research that up. The reality is that layers and things are being built behind the scene by our own government, and things need to be aware of the security issues and the implication of validating data that's coming through our systems. Something that we do at CyberLead is validate all the data that's going through our layer 1 and layer 0 blockchain. So before it's even stamped or emitted, the immutable history that we have is validated. And that will go for all of our products from here on forward. Right now, our immutable gaming history is doing our tournaments. This is live. We have it built. It is in a test integration net right now. We will future be on mainnet, but as of now, that is working. We're fine tuning some things, but we are validating data that's going to a system right now, and we're only going to expand this further and further from here.
That's awesome. I love to hear that. Anybody else want to weigh in?
Absolutely. Would you mind repeating the question?
Yeah, so basically, in Web2, data is exploited, user data is exploited for profit. Will NFTs, user-generated content, NFTs, be a new form of uncompensated, labor as a promise of ownership, or do you think it'll actually transpire into something different?
Okay, well, I'm going to cheat and say no and yes. Yes,
I love
because
it.
because
Put black and red, right? Spin the wheel.
black
See
and
what you
red,
get.
right?
Yep.
Exactly. You gotta win, right? But yes, because in any new system, it gets bad before it gets really good, right? And it gets really bad at the beginning, and then it gets really good, especially for a system that has a lot of potential, like blockchain. So they're gonna be bad actors no matter what. But the benefit is that it's a ledger, right? That's what it's all about. Blockchain, a ledger. It's a notable notation about what's going on, what's happening peer to peer, what's happening everywhere, every second on the blockchain, 24/7. It's there, so you don't have to guess. There's no happenstance, and so there's less room for error. So over time, it definitely should get better, and more people should flock to it because of that. So it should be a haven from scams, from illegitimate things happening in games, on the web. It's just a matter of time. It hasn't happened yet because the games suck, and we all know that. So just a matter of time when the games are like StarCraft, World of Warcraft, MapleStory, then it's going to make a lot of sense, because why wouldn't you be on a system that erases all, almost all of scamming and falsity and all that stuff? So just a matter of time.
Great insight. Thanks. Hey, Joe, do you have a couple of community questions?
Yeah.
Is it just me not being able to hear, or?
No, that's what I was thinking. It's not just you.
Hey,
Yeah, Joe is breaking up madly. So, Joe, something is up with your connection. Cody, go ahead with your questions, the tricky ones.
oh, I'll ask a couple of community questions here. Sorry, guys, I didn't get a chance to read through, so I'm just going to pick the first one that looks good. Let's see. Okay. Here's a good one from Kratos. Releasing a Web3 game on console will bridge the gap really quick. I believe Hot Knife Studios is doing that. Just that. Is that correct? So my follow-up would be, would trying to integrate in with your games into these kind of consoles be a great idea or a bad idea for Web3 games?
So, I believe, I mean, I might be biased because I'm on the team, but I believe it's a great idea. Honestly, you have to do it the right way. And again, there are multiple people who have multiple ways and multiple ideas of doing it. For example, most people just have blockchain and the game released at the same time and onboarding slew of users that way. But I've been adamant, and all the founders have the same mindset. Our demo that's released next month, it's not going to have any blockchain at all. It's going to be a game that you could play on Steam. You could play, on the computer, on Battlegrounds. If you ever played, if you ever went on that website, on any of these, like just games, right? Just if you wanted to have fun, because that's the point, right? The blockchain doesn't matter to you if the game isn't fun. So we're testing the demo, making sure that people were loving the AI enemies, the adaptable enemies, being able to learn how you're fighting and eventually kill you. Because, I mean, that's the tagline, like, you will eventually die in our game. No matter how good you think you are, eventually the AI is supposed to learn how you fight and beat you. And there's a lot of story, there's a lot of lore behind that. And you being the champion to save this entire world, and it's ever expanding because we're using AI technology. But all of that is based, it only matters if the game is fun, right? So there's a lot to do with blockchain to make it immersive and to make the economy system actually make sense, and be rewarding for players. But we want to start at square one. So um, getting it on consoles, porting it on all these different devices is the next step, because that's where users are. You don't want to try to force users to leave what they play, what they've been playing for a decade, to come onto your new system. So 101, you have to go where they are and make sure what you're playing matches what they're used to playing on. So that means porting it on all the top systems, Xbox, PlayStation. First is going to be on the computer, but eventually you definitely have to go to the big dog, mobile. And when you have it on mobile, when you have it on these consoles, when you have it on computer, and it's a fun game, I promise people will forget about blockchain being ugly because it will be fun and you've done it the correct way.
Yeah, I would. I 100% agree, and we can already see that they are games coming out on mobile, blockchain games, which are using Google Pay and Apple Pay. And I think it's also like a great push for the developers to kind of like, okay, let's just stop pushing the game out, and like the main tagline is like, oh, it's a cool game because it's blockchain based game. You know, in a similar like other technologies, I don't know, in gaming like ray tracing or whatever, it's the technology like probably let's look at how is the technology making the game actually better. And I think a lot of people would care about like, oh, I actually want to own a building in the next GTA, or you know, I actually want to have really unique character. I don't want to pay for a skin that like another 2,000 people are going to have. Like, but if there's just like one of this skin, I really want to have it. And I think like moving to consoles, like moving even to App Store, Apple Store, and where people are already able to purchase like NFTs or let's say tokens without even like owning the wallet. Like, yeah, if you want to like go down the rabbit hole and then like leverage it further, you can. But if you don't, then yeah, just use Apple Pay or use, I don't know like what's PlayStation using for payment system. But I think that would be quite healing also for Web3 industry as well. That's my take on it.
Can I add a little?
Heck yeah.
So to this to the pixel realm. So of course, you know that one of the main reasons why some restrictions to the blockchain games in the Apple Store and the Google Play, because they can't get money from transactions from the blockchain transactions, and this is the huge profit that they lose. That's why when we implement into our like mobile games, the solutions where people can pay for the assets, for the entities, and so on through the Apple Pay, as it was just said. This is the very good point, because it will be more adoption according to to these games, especially through such platforms. And also, of course, this is the easiest way for the people who are in Web2 yet to came into their Web3, because they know how to play with the Apple Pay, and they don't need to. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. And they don't need to learn during the game process all the things about how to download the MetaMask, how to use the seed phrase, and so on. So, but doing again and again different things and interacting with the Web3 assets, but using the usual things they used to use, it will be easier for them to transform from the casual games or from any other mobile games into the Web3 world. That's our point. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. I have one community question that I actually really like, and I think it's up one of the speakers' road, but I think also it concerns everybody in the space. So one of our community members is asking if we think cheating and hacks could potentially be overcame with NFTs and some new other features. Whoever wants to take the lead, you guys go.
Definitely, because that's one of the